Alcohol consumption in the United States and around the world is completely out of control. And since the pandemic began, we have had more people in my 43 years of practice reach out to us with help from addiction, and alcohol seems to be number one, although there's a ton of other addictions. We're working with people right now. But when someone says, I may need help, I think this alcohol is getting a little out of control, I may not be able to handle it right now, I might need to cut back, I might need to eliminate it immediately. When someone says those words, that's coming from a very powerful person. Listen, I'm a former alcoholic for 30 years. I started at 12. It took me 30 years to have the courage to say those words. I might need help. It took me a long time to understand that getting sober and recovering by ourselves, if we have a pretty serious addiction, is going to be almost impossible. I tried forever. Listen, I was getting people sober left and right, and I couldn't get myself sober. It wasn't until I reached out to someone and said, hey, I need help, that they referred me to a treatment center that I went to for 30 days, and it was life-changing. But when I was there, it was really interesting, because being a counselor myself, the other counselors were saying, why did it take you 30 years? Isn't that interesting? And it's the world of addiction. We justify, we rationalize, we defend our use. We say we're social drinkers when we're not even near being a social drinker. What's a social drinker? According to the U.S. government, a social drinker is a woman that has never more than one alcoholic drink a day, and a man is a social drinker if he never has more than 2 alcoholic drinks a day. Now, I got to make this point really clear. Wine is 4 ounces equals 1 drink, not 6 or 8 the way that you pour it yourself, the way I used to pour it, or restaurants pour it. 1 ounce of alcohol, vodka, whatever it might be, is a drink, not 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces, 3 ounces, the way they do heavy pours, right? 1 12-ounce beer is a drink. So a woman that has 4 ounces of wine at dinner is totally fine. A man that has 2 4-ounce glasses of wine at dinner, totally fine. When it goes above that, then it's called alcohol dependent. And then when it goes above that, it's called alcoholism. There's all kinds of tricky words people are using these days, when they talk about alcoholism, and they say, well, I'm a functioning alcoholic. Well, I was a functioning alcoholic, and I created hell in my relationships during those years because I was still at work, making a ton of money, doing great work in this world. I mean, the whole reason I'm here is doing the work that I'm doing. And then I had to ask for help. I want you to ask for help. I want you to look in the mirror and ask for help. We've had all kinds of people. I'll tell a couple quick stories, an executive that said he had 2 drinks a day. When I asked him what was he drinking, he said it was some kind of a bourbon. And I said, do you do a free pour or do you use a shot glass? He looked at me, he goes, shot glass? No. I just pour. I said, how much is in a drink? He said, I'm sure maybe a shot and a half or something like that. Well, this is going to blow your mind. When I had him go home and really measure his heavy pours, it was 6 to 8 shots per drink. So when he had 2 drinks a night, it was like 12 drinks because he was consuming so much alcohol. I have another couple that I worked with, just ended our work together. During the pandemic, their business slowed down. They were fine financially. They didn't have to worry. As their business slowed down, they started to actually, in the pandemic, go out boating more, go out fishing more. And of course, that meant drinking more. And then they started going out with friends when restaurants started opening up. And even though business still wasn't that great, they didn't have to worry. They had plenty of money in the bank. But their alcohol consumption continued to increase. So we see this is happening. Could we say the pandemic has a part of this? Absolutely. But it's done now. We can't continue to use excuses like that. If you need help, we've been helping people get sober for 43 years. It is amazing. I just talked to a guy yesterday that I helped get sober 15, 20 years ago. I don't remember. I hadn't seen him in that long. He looked incredible. And all he kept saying is, David, I can't believe my energy. My wife even quit drinking. Our marriage is stronger than ever. And they've been married a long time. He said getting rid of alcohol was the best thing in the world. And utilizing you as my accountability partner, my addiction counselor, made all the difference as well. It was great to see him. I didn't know life could be so much more joyful, so much less stressful with alcohol gone. If you even think you need help, you need help. That's how we figure it out. When someone goes, I might have a problem, we have a problem, or we wouldn't be saying it. Reach out to me at talkdavid.com. Let's work together from anywhere in the world. I've been doing this for so long, and I can tell you, I have very long recovery. When my mom died 3 years ago, my dad died a year and a half ago, there wasn't one point in their 4 years of suffering that I ever even thought about having a drink. I can get you to the same place. Share these videos. Let people know there's help out there. We can break this and be healthy, happy, and much better off than we might be right now. Don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. There's no judgment on my part. I just want to help people heal. Everything's at talkdavid.com. Until I see you again, I'm David Essel, wishing you a phenomenal day.